Great. So we have Laural McQuarrie here. And Laural, you came to our office approximately 3 months ago, approximately. And you were what were your main symptoms that you were having when you came in?
I was extremely lethargic. It was very difficult to wake up in the morning, difficult to sleep. I had difficulty thinking. I'd be driving and kind of lose track of where I was at. I mostly remember feeling in the morning that I was dreaming about being awake, but I couldn't wake up. I was just in such an odd state of my body needing to rest and not getting enough rest. And by about 11 o'clock, I would finally roll out of bed. It was not fun.
Yeah, and you were really experiencing a lot of brain fog, a lot of feeling really down because you weren't able to do the things that you normally could do.
Yeah, it's depressing to not feel like you want to get out of bed.
Absolutely.
And as soon as I got whatever I had to get done for the day done, I'm back in bed just because I was exhausted.
That's brutal. So right away, we did some blood tests and we did find out that you did have Hashimoto's or an autoimmune thyroid disorder. And you had seek traditional or had seek some treatment, right?
It didn't work. I did that. I was on Nature's Thyroid for about 1.5 years solid, and then I kind of just stopped getting it because I noticed no difference at all. They increased the dosage by 2 times, and it didn't make a difference in how I felt at all.
Right. And I remember when we first examined you, we found that your energy was really low, at brain and body, remember?
I think anyone looking at me would have thought the same.
Would have known that?
Yeah.
And during our exam, we found quite a bit of bacterial infections. And we found both environmental and multiple bacterial infections affecting you. We also found multiple viruses, particularly mosquito viruses, and also some chemicals and some funguses as well. Even though we had a lot of those stressors, though, how long did it take for you to start actually seeing some changes?
Well, it wasn't long. I think it was within the first week, 2 weeks at the most, that my husband was excited because I make his breakfast, and he was actually getting breakfast at breakfast hours. And he noticed, he'd be in the office at the computer, and I'd get in there, 8 o'clock instead of 11, and he was very excited that what he found for me, because he's the one that researched you, seemed to actually be helping. And I didn't really put it together, 2 and 2 together as fast as he did.
Right.
Because I didn't expect it to work that fast. But surprisingly, I was starting to sleep a little bit better, and the biggest thing was I could wake up and be alert enough and not just think about getting back to bed.
Absolutely. That's huge. And then also we did some examination of your gut barrier system because we know that affects your immune system with autoimmune thyroid. And we were able to work with an anti-inflammatory diet, but also work with the gut barrier because there was some impairments there affecting your immunity. And also with your adrenals, we had some low cortisol too. So we've been working with that using nutrition and supplements. And pretty much, how do you feel like you've been progressing since then?
Once I went back to the gym, I was surprised because it's hard, because I used to be in really great shape, and then for 1 year I was in bed and then got this and couldn't anymore, and just being able to walk on a treadmill for half an hour was kind of a big deal for me.
Yeah. Plus you do some pretty intense workouts now too.
Yeah, well, Orange Theory's great.
Yeah.
Because it's like a trainer without a $400 or $500 a month expense,
Exactly.
He's better.
That's great. So how do you feel you're doing so far overall, and was this relatively easy and helpful to follow in terms of with the supplements and the guidance that way?
Because
awesome.
I feel I don't have to have your education to know that it works, because I feel it working.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Well, I'm so happy that you're doing better, and I definitely look forward to continuing to get to even better, to a point where you're even doing better, okay?
Me too.
So thank you. And is it okay if I share this so that other people can also see what we do here?
I'd love for them to not be as apprehensive as I was in the beginning, and to know that it's something worth their time and money, because their whole life will be improved greatly by feeling like yourself again.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think that was possible. I just thought, I'm getting old and this is it. So,
Exactly.
so I'm resurrected.
Exactly. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and I've enjoyed helping you. And